Hello, you're watching Outsiders. I'm James Morrow, here as always with Rita Panahy and Rowan Dean, and welcome to a very special Here Comes Hyden Biden edition of Donkey Vote. Now, Joe Biden has got to be one of the greatest paradoxes in political history. He is literally hiding in his furnished basement like a stoned teenager who ate too many pop brownies and can't face going upstairs to his parents' cocktail party. He is only doing the softest of soft interviews. And in fact, the rumor is that all questions must be submitted in advance to be vetted by a team of experts from the Nerf Ball Company. And yet he somehow keeps managing to put his foot in his mouth so often that there must be not one but two trained staffers always waiting off stage just to perform the Heimlich maneuver, or at least perform a coronavirus-level cleanup job on Twitter. You may not have heard, but Joe Biden has had an absolute dumpster fire of a week, even as mainstream media, no joke, spent much of Friday obsessing instead about Donald Trump's pronunciation of the word Thailand. Have a look at the would-be U.S. president getting all ornery a few days ago when a journalist asked Joe Biden the forbidden question. Has he taken a cognitive test to determine if he is, in fact, firing on all cylinders?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say?
Come on, man. Did he just ask that journalist if he was a junkie? Okay, anyway, it went on. Have a look.
To President Trump, who brags about his test and makes your mental state an issue for voters.
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but, I mean, I'm so forward-looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, you know, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness, and to make a judgment about who I am.
Come on, man. We're just forward-looking to knowing just what he was talking about. And it didn't stop there. He also weighed in on China policy. Watch this bit.
The way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that, in fact, believes in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO the right way. That in fact, that's when things begin to change. That's when China's behavior is going to change.
If anyone out there speaks Bidelish, please get in touch with me via the show. There may be a translation gig waiting for you. Oh, and then there was Biden's suggestion, or rather direct statement a couple of days later that, unlike members of the American Hispanic community, America's blacks are pretty much a monolith that think the same way and presumably vote the same way.
By the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Soon afterwards, Biden, or rather his staff, quickly tweeted, quote, "Earlier today I made some comments about diversity in the African-American and Latino communities that I want to clarify. In no way did I mean to suggest the African-American community is a monolith. Not on identity, not on issues, not at all." Sure, Joe, we believe you, just like we believed you that time when you caught yourself implying that poor kids and black kids were one and the same.
You have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids, wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it. But
and does that Twitter apology cover that time a few weeks ago when you suggested that, well, let's remember this gem?
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Come on, man. African Americans are, like everyone else in the United States, a diverse group of people not just defined by their skin color, despite what the identity politics left has to say. though they are strikingly united on the issue of police, with 81%, according to a Gallup poll this week, saying they want the police to spend as much time or more time out on the streets in their community. A fact that could cause Biden and the Democrats a lot of damage as they increasingly find themselves aligned with the radical defund the police left and Antifa who are out there wrecking America's cities. Of course, Biden has always been known for his, shall we say, unorthodox turns of phrase, though the slurring, aggression, and apparent memory failures that have been on exhibition in recent months are something new. Here's a little clip from the late, great comedian Robin Williams, way back in 2009, reflecting on Biden's, shall we say, unique way with words.
We still have comedy, though. We still have great comedy out there. There's always rambling Joe Biden. Joe is like your uncle who's got a new drug and hasn't got the dosage right. I'm proud to work with Barack America. He's not a superhero, you idiot. Come here. When FDR was on television, there was no TV back then. Come here, Joe. Sit down.
As Joe Biden himself might say, come on, man.